I have seen and heard so many horror stories about fights between customers and hairstylists and women who do makeup and things like that. I've even seen them go at it with each other. But I've seen a lot of women over the years talk about how there are so many unprofessional people in the cosmetology space, which is crazy to me because I mean, isn't that like a multi-million dollar, billion-dollar industry? So anyway, whether it's their friend around the way that does hair, or some chick on Instagram who does makeup, or the girl around the way that does nails, for whatever reason, there's always an issue. Sometimes the person doing the hair is in the wrong, and sometimes the customer or the client is in the wrong. And I know that sounds crazy because we live in a society where everyone believes that the customer is always right. Well, coming from somebody, me, who's worked in fast food and has dealt with customer service before and has come basically face to face with the worst that society has to offer, please allow for me to tell you that that saying is a steaming and smelly pile of bullshit, because in this very situation, this client is dead ass wrong. Stephanie Samuels was arrested and is currently facing multiple charges, including aggravated assault, after she attacked a Memphis hairstylist in her home, all because she didn't want to pay for her braids. Take a look.
A Memphis hairstylist attacked in her home after a client refused to pay for her braids. 30-year-old Stephanie Samuels is behind bars facing several charges, including aggravated assault. Tonight, the stylist shares the injuries she suffered from the brutal attack.
Latasha Dickerson told me she spent 9.5 hours braiding a client's hair last weekend. Instead of the client paying $200, she physically attacked the hairstylist, leaving a bite mark and bruises on her arm.
Please be careful who you let in your house.
Latasha Dickerson has been braiding hair for more than 20 years. Dickerson told Fox 13 she offers on-location services or has clients come to her home in North Memphis.
It's not about the money or the time. I just like making people feel good.
So this woman has been braiding hair for 20 years, and she spent 9 good hours on this woman's hair. And what makes it worse is this stylist has been doing this chick's hair for 17 years.
Feel good.
Dickerson says Stephanie Samuels has been a client for 17 years. Samuels came to her home to have small, extra long box braids done last month. This cell phone video shows how Samuels' hair came out after 9.5 hours of braiding. Dickerson says she charged Samuels $200.
She gave me $50 and said that's all she had right now. That was it. And then she was like, I can't give you nothing else. I got to pay my mortgage.
Please explain to me how this makes any sense. This chick went and got her hair done knowing that she only had about $50 with her. And that's obviously not enough to cover the service or the hairstyle that she was getting. And I'm willing to bet she knew that. And her excuse was that she still had to pay, her bills, and that $50 was all she could pay. Talk about a lack of priorities. Listen, I know that, hair is very important. It's a very important thing when it comes to women. And I know that a lot of women don't play when it comes to their hair, right? But going to get your hair done, knowing that you can't afford to pay full price, when I'm sure you knew what the price would be, is wild, man. Now, the hairstylist and Stephanie were good friends at one point. They actually grew up together. And so once she said that she couldn't pay, the hairstylist was actually willing to work out a payment plan with her until this happened.
Says she was at a loss for words, especially because Samuels is a childhood friend. She says she wanted to work out a payment plan, but the unthinkable happened. Police say Samuels bit Dickerson's right arm, pepper sprayed her, and pulled a box cutter on Dickerson while her children were in the home.
When she pepper sprayed me, I just started hollering because I just hit my head and I'm like, ah, and I just like this right here. And then that's when she started swinging back and just attacking me. I'm looking like, what is she doing? And she got me down and she started biting my arm, like her whole teeth prints is in my arm.
Okay, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm going to call the SPCA because it's clear that somebody's Pitbull has just gotten out the house, right? Somebody just unleashed their Pitbull here. So because this crazy ass woman was broke, and couldn't afford her hair bill, she decided to throw caution to the wind and go full cave woman mode and start biting this woman's arm. This vampiress bit down on this poor woman's arm so hard that you could see the bite marks that she left on her arm. The bite was so bad that even the scab on her arm, was fully indented. Like, you could see it. Then she pulls out pepper spray, sprays her, and then decides to whip out a box cutter. And she did all of this while the hairstylist kids were in the house with them. And remember, this was supposed to be her childhood friend.
Took the $50 and ran out.
When you're trying to help your community, people just trying to take advantage of it. And when you're trying to put good in your community, people don't care. And it's just like, she didn't have I'm sorry. It's okay. She didn't have to do it. She didn't have to do it.
Dickerson says she was looking forward to using the money towards Christmas gifts for her children. She advises hairstylists to request a deposit and have clients pay up front before starting the service.
Wow, just a really awful situation, and one that really didn't need to happen. I don't understand how somebody can be this psychotic over a hair appointment and not being able to afford the service. So let me get this straight. Because you didn't have the money, you decided to go full on Rambo mode and pull out some mace and a box cutter and then put on your best Mike Tyson impression and bite her on the arm? Why? In the words of Cardi B, what was the reason? And after she did all of this, the hairstylist, she went and took the $50 that she was gonna give her and just ran off with it. I always thought, and this is just me, but I always thought that a deposit was like the standard for anybody that is providing a service, especially a hair appointment that costs several $100s. Now, I know I'm just a guy sitting here in a chair, but aren't clients supposed to pay up front before any service has started? I just see too many stories like this where clients and stylists get into it. Whether the stylist is charging these ridiculously ungodly prices or just canceling appointments for stupid ass reasons, or the client just saying fuck it and running out on the bill. I've even seen videos of women literally trying to dart out to their car and the stylist has to basically beat them to the car in order to get their money. Now, you guys don't know this, but my little sister is a hairstylist. She went to cosmetology school, she got her license, all of that. And she's a damn good one. She's so good that I honestly feel that she should charge more for the services that she provides. But to me, she is an example of how to run your business effectively, because never once has any of these situations occurred with her. So I know from firsthand knowledge that it's very possible for these types of businesses to run accordingly. Because like I said, y'all, I've heard some horror stories, man, when it comes to hair appointments, nail appointments, makeup appointments. I literally just did a video. Well, I didn't just do it, but I did a video a little while ago about, this makeup artist who basically just dipped off on a client the day before her wedding to go and kick it with some celebrity. Literally gave her no notice. Now, granted, some of these, techs or these, stylists or whatever are not licensed and they're just doing work in the neighborhood. Not uncommon. It happens all the time. But there was absolutely no reason for this to happen like this. All over $200. Now, whether you feel that $200, was too much for some braids is really irrelevant. This hairstylist did absolutely nothing wrong. She even said that when you try to help your community, people just try to take advantage of that. And that's very true. And it's a shame because she was looking forward to that money because, as most of you know, the holidays are here and people are grinding, trying to get that money to pay for these Christmas gifts. And that's exactly what this woman was trying to do. She was going to put the money from this appointment towards gifts for her kids. Now she can't do that, all because this Tyrannosaurus Rex of a client she had wanted to try and bite her arm off, all because she can't afford to pay for the hair. Then why the hell are you there? Why are you there? She was really just sitting in this chair knowing full well that she didn't have the money. And in that 9-hour period, 9 hours is a lot of fucking time. That's a whole work shift. That's you there. That's a full-time shift, right? And that 9-hour period of her getting her hair done, she was probably cooking up a bunch of ideas on how she was going to escape from that chair. And that was the best she came up with. I just need answers on why this insane client thought that prioritizing getting her hair done over paying her bills was a smart and logical decision. Hell, haircuts only cost between what, like $20 to $40, depending on what you're getting done. And even I wouldn't step foot in a barbershop if I didn't have it. It doesn't matter now. I mean, I cut my own damn hair, but you know, you get the point. This is honestly scary to know that people like this walk among us. Now, Stephanie is currently held in jail with a $1,000 bond, and she is set to appear in court on Monday. And I personally feel that $1,000 is way too low for the bullshit that she did. But I just think that this whole thing is very crazy, and it does raise concerns about the safety of people in personal service environments, because this whole thing happened at this stylist home. So it wasn't like she wasn't in a familiar environment. And granted, this was supposed to be somebody who was supposed to be a friend to her that did this. And she's been doing her hair for damn near the amount of time that she's been doing hair. She's been doing her hair for almost, 17, 18 years. Now, look, I gotta be honest. Okay. If the braids this chick has in her hair from this mugshot is from this braider, then I gotta be honest and say that those braids do look a little crazy. All right. I mean, I'm just gonna be real. Just from a man's perspective, those braids look a little wild to me. That's why my wife goes to the African shops. They might be a little tight. All right. She does complain about them being tight on the head, but they definitely look good on her. But this wasn't a matter of she didn't like the braids. This was a matter of her not having great conflict resolution skills and just flying off the handle because she didn't have the money to pay. Really, really crazy situation. I had to talk about it. This story just came across my timeline, and I honestly had to discuss it with y'all. Y'all got to let me know what y'all think. Also, if you made it this far in the video, don't forget to smack a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe for the one time. Peace. Crazy, crazy ass people.